Alex. He has a mean haircut. That right there is a pretty good job future ahead of it. It's the stylist. So, and he'll be attending BYU this fall, Alex Manning.
So I first bought some presents for all of you, so all you parents out there, get ready to catch, because if this hits you in the face, I'll be forced to laugh at you. Administration, faculty, family, and friends. It is my great honor and pleasure to be speaking to you today. When we enter into high school, we start a stage of our life where we are expected to learn on our own. We are given more responsibility and independence, and for the most part, we can navigate through our high school years on our own, with a little help from the advice of those around us. And in life, you find a rare few, a small handful of people that you listen to what they have to say because you know their advice is worthwhile. And today, that is what I'm here to share with you. The advice that's been given to me over my high school career from 5 people that have dramatically influenced my life and helped shape who I have become today. The first person on my list is someone who has given me so much in my life, and that, of course, is my mother. Many of you know her from her involvement in the school, or by her eccentric outfits and hats, as she's wearing today. I didn't even have to tell her to dress up. My mother has given me a lot of useful advice over the years. Around 80% of it I've probably outright ignored, but on the rare occasion that I diligently listened to her, I pulled out some very useful insights. When I turned 16, she gave me a book that she wrote. She gave it to all of my cousins when they graduated high school. It's titled, Get a Life. Packed full of information and advice that she thinks is useful to any graduating senior. Though with her closer relationship to me, she gave it to me earlier. And there's one section that stood out to me. It's titled, Keep an Open Mind. Now, many of us are going to college in an area of the country that we've never lived in before. Along with these unexplored new areas, a whole new range of culture, ideas, and beliefs that we are not accustomed to. And that's why I think this section is so important. Let me read you a part of it. Keep an open mind. But not so open it becomes deceived. Be critical and base your standards on objective values and seek to understand differences. Know that there is no shame in being wrong nor in being right, and be sure to listen and to hear. And don't reject an idea, theory, or practice without knowing why you disagree or find it unacceptable. But when you do disagree, be clear in your opinions and beliefs, because humoring false values and those who promote them is not a requirement of life. As we move on to new locations and new friends and new lives, be true to your own values, but also be prepared for new ones. Because just like my mother said, there's no shame in being right or wrong. But it is important that you know why. Why do you disagree? Why are you right? Or why is something unacceptable? Are all important questions to keep in mind when you're exploring this new territory. The next person in my life is a man that many of you athletes in this room know. Jason Peary was this year's head coach of the boys varsity basketball team. Jason and the rest of the Pearys this year have become like a second family to me. And I've received a lot of advice from them, and almost all of it useful. But there's one thing that he's told me that I feel like I should share with all of you. He says that each and every one of us has an infinite power to make others happy. Let me tell you a story. There was once a young man who attended Palo Alto High School. Once a week, as he would walk home from his school, he would stop by a house on the way to his own. This house belonged to an elderly woman whose husband had died a few years before. The young man would sit with her for half an hour or so and talk with her about her week and what she had upcoming in her life. Now, to him, this was a brief stop on his way home, but to her, this was a hugely impactful, reoccurring event in her life. Some weeks she would look only forward to this day with the young man, as she would have nothing else to look forward to. This young man brought this woman company and happiness. It was what kept her going some days, weeks, or even months, knowing that this boy, every Wednesday, would be at her house. Not because he had to be, or because someone told him to, but because he had a genuine interest in her life. I think this is an important principle for all of us, as we're moving on to a period of our lives that we'll be living in closer proximity to those around us. It will no longer be easy for us to easily ignore those around us because they're much older or younger, or they have different schedules than we do. Because we are going to have floor mates, roommates, and soulmates who we will interact with on a daily basis. And a kind pleasantry, a please and a thank you, or even holding the door for someone may seem like nothing to you, but to those around you, it could change their outlook on the day. It could help them through tough times. It could help them restore a little faith in humanity. Because everyone here has an infinite ability to do good, to brighten those around us, and I believe we should. Next on my list is a man that I think needs no introduction, Jackie Bruno. Jackie and I have gotten to know each other very well over the past couple of years through ASB, and Jackie is a man of many talents. He's had jobs ranging from a personal trainer to a park ranger to even dabbling in professional dancing. Jackie's been through a lot, so whenever he offers up advice, my ears are always keen to listen. And Jackie is a big believer in the phrase, "You can do anything once." Now, he likes to use it a little differently than how I'm going to explain it to you today. This is how it's normally used. Jackie, do you think we could fill Mr. Gardner's office with balloons for his birthday? You can do anything once. Jackie, can we have a fire-breathing bartender at our next prom? You can do anything once. But here's how I like to think of it. You should do anything once. You should go out there and explore the world. Explore your passions and who you are. Take a page out of Jackie's own book and travel the world, seeing all you can see and trying out jobs you never could imagine yourself doing. Find who you want to become. Become a man or woman of many talents and experiences and have a rich life story. Live life to its fullest. Travel to New York and see a Broadway show. Go down to Peru and visit the ruins of Machu Picchu. Hike the base camp to Everest, or explore a new language in a country you've never visited. All of these things will not only bring you happiness, but many wonderful experiences, as well as new directions to take your life. So when you are posed with two options, to do or not to do, think of Jackie. Think, what would he do? And remember that you can do anything once. Now, the fourth person on my list is a man who likes to stay behind the scenes. His name is Mr. Ivers. For those who don't know who he is the drama director and technical theater director for the Pinewood Performing Arts Department. Mr. Ivers has had many jobs here at Pinewood, first as a writing teacher, then a math teacher, but eventually found himself here at Pinewood's upper campus. Mr. Ivers is one of the hardest working people that I know. He spends countless hours in the theater making sure that every show is perfect. Well, almost perfect. He spends days on details that most people would overlook or ideas that others would throw out the window. And so this taught me a valuable piece of advice. Work for yourself and not for the thanks of others. Mr. Ivers doesn't build these sets or designs, these shows, for the gratitude of others or the thanks of the parents. He does this because he has a passion for theater and for the design process of a show. His goal is to make it seem like he was never there while making sure the students feel accomplished at the end. And if those two things happen, only then is he satisfied. And I think this is important advice. Because working for the sake of others is not a way to work at all. The only thing motivating you should not be whether or not you think you'll receive a round of applause or an award at the end of the month. What you need to find is your passion, your desire, your inner spark, something you would happily wake up early in the morning for, and that you'd be happy to do day in and day out. Moving forward, think about yourself. Think about what you want to do, what you want to become, and how you're going to do it. Are you going to do it because you want to, or because others do? Or are you going to try and steal the spotlight, or maintain your success behind the scenes? Because fame is only momentary. It has a short shelf life. But success behind the scenes will stand the test of time and make you a lot happier along the way. Last, and certainly not least, is my grandfather. My grandfather was a very influential man in my life. He's the classic strong and stubborn old man that lived to be the ripe old age of 92. This was a man who fought in World War II. He was a fighter pilot that flew over the treaty signing between the US and Japan. Then he started his career in real estate and went on to have 5 children. He was the kind of man that browbeat his doctors into allowing him to get a hip replacement surgery at the age of 91 and was walking a week later. Unfortunately for me, I only knew him for 16 years, but really only got close to him in the last 5. He died unexpectedly in November of 2014. Because it happened so suddenly, I did not get to spend as much time towards the end with him that I wish I could. But we had a conversation a few months before he died that I will always remember. I usually saw my grandfather 2 to 3 times a year, and in those sporadic occurrences, I would update him on my life in between. We talked about what I might want to do in college, my pursuits in business, music, and photography, and I showed him some of my work. He paused for a moment, but then said something that I will always remember. He said, "Alex, you are going to do great things." And I think this is something we often forget about life, is self-worth. Because as I look down on this amazing graduating class of 2017, I can see an amazing group of students. A group of future athletes, engineers, doctors, and lawyers, artists, and everything in between, that is going into college and eventually into life. And I know, just like my grandfather did, that you are all going to do amazing things. So I leave with you one piece of advice. Go out and enjoy life. Don't be too serious. Go and live life. Remember to keep an open mind, to brighten the lives of those around you, that you can do anything once, to work for yourself and not for the thanks of others. And of course, you are all going to do great things. I'll end with a quote from W.C. Fields. Don't take life too seriously, because you'll never get out of it alive. Thank you to each and every one of you that made this an amazing year for me. And congratulations to the almost graduated class of 2017.
Thank you, Alex. Nice job. Our next speaker is our salutatorian. The salutatorian this year is Chris Burton. He's an evergreen and is very involved in school. Mainly because he is so involved that he would have a good chance to salute many areas of his involvement. He was in playing sports. He was in baseball for 4 years, 2 years, last 2 years as a captain, this year as a captain, and with the baseball team to our first CCS tournament. Football 2 years, but then an injury kept him out this year, so what did he do? He played soccer. He's big into drama. He was in the tech group as a 9th grader. He was in the plays Almost Maine, Our Town, Addams Family, for which he got the Best Actor. He played in Rumors and a prime role in Into the Woods. Journalism, he was a sports editor in 9th grade, sports editor in 10th, up in 12th grade. He won the Sports Editor Award and did a fantastic job with the new perennial. Student council, he was the sports chair, both the 11th and this year the 12th grade. Saw him up here choir with the Take Note group. He's also in the main choir, and was in, if you'd like to say he was one of the founding members, which he was. He is in the French Honor Society and the National Honor Society, and he will be attending Northwestern University. Salutatorian, Chris Burton.
All right, first of all, thank you, Mr. Gardner, not just for that introduction, but for 33 years of introductions. Well, this is real. We're all graduating high school. I've pinched myself multiple times to make sure I'm not dreaming, and I haven't woken up yet, so I think we're good. Seniors, I know most of you, many of you, only just realized, truly understood that high school is coming to an end. For me, the moment it hit me was the morning after my last day. I woke up at 7:50 and I was like, oh crap, I'm late. And then I realized, wait a minute, no. And at that moment, I realized that I would never be late to Pinewood again. You're welcome, Miss Hudson. In all seriousness, it hit me hard, I'm not gonna lie. And I know it hit some of you hard too. So, I'll tell you all today, you can be sad. I'm not gonna stand up here and give the, we're moving on and never looking back, no one can be sad, it's not okay speech. Because that's not how I feel, and it might not be how you feel either. But I also want to tell you guys, you can be happy. First of all, be happy for the gifts that Pinewood has given you. Be grateful for our teachers who worked harder than we could ever imagine to shape us into who we are today. We got incredibly lucky to have the experiences that we've had. Be happy for your parents. For 13 years of school, they've been the guiding lights in our lives. They've been the hands that picked us up when we tripped over our toddler feet. The shoulders we steadied ourselves on as we drifted through a sea of teenage hormones. The voices that rose to give us the best cheering section we could have ever asked for. Thank you, Sheila Banning. As special as this day is for you seniors, it's just as special for them. Give them a hug today, because no words can express how much gratitude we have for them. Be happy for each other. Do me a favor, seniors, and you can actually do this. Look to your left. Now look to your right. Now raise your hand if you are impressed by who you saw. As Alex just said, you will all do great things. Every senior in this room has a million things to be proud of, and everyone's future is bright. My advice to the senior class, don't sell yourself short. Don't settle for less. Because everyone in this room has something to be proud of. It's okay to accept your greatness, and there is no shortage of greatness in this room. Each and every one of you is incredible, and I sincerely hope you all realize that. But most of all, be happy for us. High school might be ending, but this isn't the end of the class of 2017. This is the tightest knit group of people I've ever seen in any area of life. Be happy for the smiles, laughs, hugs, good times, and, of course, memes that I know won't end with high school. We've come a long way together, and we're just getting started. 13 years ago, I stepped onto Pinewood campus for the first time. I was the oldest kid in a family of 5. Today, I'll take my last step on Pinewood campus, the family of 52 by my side. And that makes me the happiest guy in the world. Thank you.